Hello everybody. Thought I would dip into the brand new ColourPop. This is their Pretty Fresh. This is the full coverage hydrating foundation. I think it's like full, medium to full coverage. I absolutely love the tinted moisturizer. By the way, not sponsored, not endorsed, didn't get us a PR, I actually bought it. Ordered it from ColourPop, not from Ulta. And I thought I would give it a try because foundation's tough. I've seen fantastic, amazing, super popular YouTube artists that swear by certain foundations, and I just can't. Doesn't work for me. So because I like the tinted moisturizer and because I use it quite a bit, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna see. I'll do some of the guesswork. If you're a lady of a certain age who's had combo skin, tends towards the dry side, maybe even got it under control, but you know, not super oily, and it's summer, so I tend to go lighter with makeup anyway. I figured I'd try it. So I've got a damp beauty blender, and for fun, I decided to just we'll do a whole face of ColourPop stuff, and then hopefully I'll do a check-in at the end of the day and we'll see how it wears. I think it's, what time is it right now? It is 1:24, so almost 1:30. We'll call it 1:30 by the time I actually get it on my face, and then I'll check in later tonight and we'll kind of just see how it wears, see if it performs okay. So because I have nothing on my face right now other than some moisturizer, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of the situation. I am gonna use the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Primer. This and I've used quite a bit of it. I have maybe a quarter of this bottle left, but don't worry, I bought a backup. Did I really need to do moisturizer and the hydrating primer? Probably not, but I don't know. I'm just really liking well moisturized skin these days. Okay, so we're gonna try this foundation. I got the shade, and of course it's hard to see online, right? I got the shade medium 85N, and I have no idea if this is gonna fit. Let's just take a squirt of it here. Okay, you know what? It doesn't look horrible on here. I tend to be kind of I try to go either on the cool side or on a neutral side. I've got 2 pumps on the back of my hand right now. I'm gonna take a damp beauty blender, and I like to use damp beauty blenders when I do more of a full coverage foundation as opposed to brush or fingers, just because I don't want it to be too drying, especially if you already have dry skin. Okay, there's no way I needed 2 pumps, just so you know. I feel like it's going on very fast. And as far as coverage goes with 1 pump, you know, it's not bad. My skin looks like skin. I did not do any pore filling type primer, but as of right now, I'm not upset with the texture. I do feel like I've got some sun damage that I kind of want to go over a little bit more. Okay, and it builds up pretty well. I'll be curious to see how this dries down. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this sit on my face. We'll play with some other ColourPop products, do a whole face of ColourPop, and then we'll come back and check and see how this oxidizes, how it dries down. Coverage actually looks pretty good. I don't feel like, sometimes when I get a full coverage, I really feel like it can be too cakey, and I hate that. I don't want to look like a mannequin. I think at a certain age, don't we become more accepting of our skin as opposed to feeling like we've got to try to achieve perfection? I don't know. Mannequins don't have any personality, and you know, as ladies of a certain age, we've sort of embraced our personality. The size of the bottle of foundation is the same size as the bottle of primer. In fact, they look darn near identical, just as a FYI in case you have the primer. I also have the Pretty Fresh concealer, and luckily enough, I also got it in medium 85N as a neutral. And I normally don't go too under here just because of all the crepiness. Okay, so you guys, while I'm doing this, I'm on day 13 of working out. 13 in a row, not just like, you know, 13 out of 30, but 13 in a row. 13 out of 13. And I am starting to feel better. I am feeling like, okay, I got this. I've actually increased my weights in lifting, increased my times on the elliptical. My energy level is good. Today was the first day I actually made one of my smoothies, and I just used one of the vanilla premier protein shakes from Costco. Used one of those and a handful of frozen raspberries, and it was phenomenal. It was so good. I really like the peanut butter protein powders, but I thought, you know what, since I've got the Premier stuff, I might as well try that. And I got vanilla. I like the chocolate. They had a caramel flavor that I've never seen before. I'm gonna do some eyes. Actually, let's do some brows. I do have a ColourPop brow. It's got a spoolie on one end and a brow pencil on the other. I'm not sure what color it is, but it's brown. And we're gonna go ahead and just do a little bit of filling in here. My mirror is ridiculously dirty. Okay, so working out is going good. I'm super excited about that. If you don't follow me over on Instagram, I am at Sheli Tsunami, and I'm posting. I did it for the first 7 days. I posted a picture on my feed, but then I switched to posting it on my stories. And the reason why I'm doing that is not because like, hey, look at me, I'm working out, but it's because of accountability. I really want to hold myself accountable. And if I figure if I work out every now and then, somebody may say, hey, good job, keep it up. So I'm trying to do this for a month. I'm trying to see what kind of changes I can make in a month. I'm trying to decide if I want to do any kind of primer. I mean, I did pat some of the excess foundation onto my eyes, and I think I'm just going to leave that like that instead of a primer. It's Sunday that I'm filming this, so I'm not like racing off to go anywhere. And frankly, I'm only going to do one look today because the focus of this video is not the whole eyeshadow thing, although I am using a palette that I haven't used before, but I want to see how the foundation works. I want to see how the foundation sits over time and just kind of, if it's something that is usable. Right now, I'm pretty impressed. It's a little tacky right now, which makes me think that it's either gonna grip and drag powder products or cream products might be better. Okay, I also, when I picked up the foundation, I picked up a ColourPop palette that I didn't have before. This is the Truly Madly Deeply. It is a 16 pan ColourPop palette. It's cute. It's very pink and pretty. And we do have a couple glitters, and I know some of y'all don't care for glitters. But I feel like it's got some warm neutrals and it's got some a little bit more of kind of a cooler tone neutrals. Yes, there are what looks like 3 glitters right here. You can't really tell by looking at these, maybe in the camera, but this one is very much a pink, almost purple shift. This one is like a white gold, and this is more of a kind of a coppery gold. They're very pretty. I'm not going to use any of them. Oh my gosh. So just even swatching them, it's still just all over my hands. My husband's gonna be like, hey, you got your magic fairy dust on your hands today. Okay, so we're gonna skip the glitters. So we got some mattes, we got some metallics, we've got a neutral color, kind of a good like all over the lid shade. I'm gonna probably start with that. This looks to me like a palette you could get a lot of use out of. So I'm excited to have it because, like I said, this is one I didn't already have. If you're anything like me, boy, foundation, it's like hit and miss, you know? Sometimes foundations look phenomenal, and sometimes it's like, ugh, how do I make this work? Can I mix it? Can I whatever else? Okay, I gotta tell you that that 85N shade, I actually really like. I wouldn't have picked any other shade. Concealer that I used, I might have to go back in and in some additional places just to kind of lighten it up. It's kind of like I put it on and then I'm like, why did I do that? I should probably put more effort into it. Okay, so I used this very first shade in the palette, this one right here, the lightest kind of matte shade. It's like a vanilla-y shade, just all over my lids to try to set down any moisture, because again, I use that foundation on my lids and it's a hydrating foundation and I just really don't want it to crease and be just obnoxious today. So I'm gonna go down with this next shade right here. It's kind of a taupey color, and there's a name on it here. Can I read it? So the first shade that I use, and there's actually names on the back of these palettes, and I just have to put my reading glasses on to read it. So I use Lay Low to kind of set down my primer, you know, just kind of get myself a smoother canvas to start with. And then the next one is called Cut Out, and that's this kind of cooler sort of taupey color. A little bit more specific on where I put it. I can always blend it out, but I'm just using a smaller brush here. The palettes don't have a mirror, so I have to use a different mirror, which is fine. I feel like it's been kind of a little while since I've used a ColourPop palette. I don't have every ColourPop palette, but I have a lot of them. What's your favorite ColourPop palette? Assuming you have some. What was your first ColourPop palette? I think my first ColourPop palette was Baby Got Peach. And I have to go back and visit it because at the time I was like, okay, these are too washed out for me. I need to go back into it and see if I can get more use out of it. Okay, even though that brush was a little firmer and more specific on where I'm putting that color down, it still tended to be the perfect wash of color that I had kind of wanted here. Now I'm going to go into this kind of the darkest shade in this whole, well, it's not the darkest, it's the second to the darkest shade. The shade is called Too Much. I'm going to use this kind of on my outer edge here, and I've got the same brush. I'm just kind of stippling it into the powder, and we'll try to pack it on. That's actually a pretty color. Man, if I were talented enough, I would do those live eye swatchings like that girl Shay XO does. But I don't have the lids, I think, that can support that. Plus, I'm old, and to do that kind of damage to your lids is just not good. I did do that with some of the Pat McGrath, the little palettes, the little 5-pan palettes. I really like those. These shades really do come together nicely. I hadn't picked up this palette before. It seemed before like, okay, it's very similar to other palettes that I have. Do I really need this one? You know, they got a number of 9-pan palettes. And I was like, well, do I really want the 16? Is it going to make that much of a difference? Is it going to give me anything other than what I already have? And I don't know. I don't know that the colors are any different, but so far I feel like this is a palette that I could use every day for a week and get enough variety. There's a couple duochromes in here that I actually am really digging. Like these two colors right here are both the duochromes. This one looks kind of more pinky purple in the pan, but it swatches almost like a terracotta color. And this one looks blue in the pan, but it swatches very like a berry color. I am going to go into this shimmer right here called Poodle. I don't know any poodles that are this color. Oh my gosh, it's so creamy. I'm using my finger this time. Oh, absolute perfection. And I'm just merging it in with my kind of crease transition shade and of course the glitter. Glitter everywhere. And bumping it up against my outer V sort of shade too. I suspect I'm going to have to cancel my UK trip. We had a UK trip planned for May, and of course we had to reschedule that. Moved it back to September. I don't know that we're going to be able to go. I need a lighter color, and I'm not quite sure what color to use here. I'm going to take this kind of champagne-y shimmer right here, which is called Blossom. I'm going to put it right here. It's kind of a goldy champagne-y. That's pretty. I can see using this for a variety of situations. I can see having this palette on my vanity and easily reaching for it because it's super fast to get colors on. It doesn't take a lot of effort to blend them. They give me enough color that I can see them, and they do blend out very well. I'm just going to drag some of that color Too Much down below a little bit. Just kind of smoke out the lash line tiny bit here. Even though I put glitter on the back of my hand, I have it on my face now. It's like literally all over my face. And I didn't even put it on my face. I put it on the back of my hand and then wiped it off. And then threw the wipe away. All right, you guys, I forgot to grab a ColourPop eyeliner. I thought I had one, but I guess I either didn't bring it in here or I don't know where it's at. So I've got a little bit of black eyeliner from Ico. I'm going to put this on. I'll be right back. Got a little bit of black liquid eyeliner on the top. I'm going to go back into the darkest shade in the palette, and we're going to doctor up the lower lash line a little. All right, you guys, as what always happens when I don't have anything else on, I tend to go a little bit overboard, but I think it'll be okay. I think it'll translate to natural light pretty well. Question is, would I leave the house looking like this? Not without mascara. I do have a ColourPop mascara here. This is, it's called One Smart Cookie Volumizing Mascara, and I think this is kind of a brown. Yeah, I've got a brown mascara. We're going to use that today. Eyes are pretty much done. I'm going to find a place that doesn't have any glitter on it. Touch up a little bit under my eyes with the same foundation. With it being a hydrating foundation, I am just dragging it all the way up underneath my eyes. We're going to see how this holds up. Pulling up a little bit more where my glasses marks are. I've got a little bit of sun damage up here. Cover that up. So far, so good. Okay, except for the glitter. It's not like sitting on my skin. It actually seems to be working with my skin. So far, so good. Okay, so we've had it on there for a little bit. It doesn't seem like it's quite as tacky as it was before. And not tacky in a weird, not in like a Vegas tacky, but in like sticky tacky. Okay, so I'm gonna use the Coconut Beach. This is from the Going Coconuts collection. I'm gonna use the Coconut Beach. I'm gonna use it as a contour because it's kind of a cool tone bronzer. A little Alamar brush here. Something else that I'm trying, aside from working out every day, I've been using one of those. So I worked out, I'm almost to 2 weeks of working out at the time that I'm filming this. And I had picked up one of those new face devices and I'm like 3 days into it. We will see, and I'll give you guys a full scoop on that. But right now we're contouring the old-fashioned way. Not through diet and exercise, but through the magic of makeup. I just gotta tell you, ColourPop, in my opinion, makes some really good products that are just staples. Like, they seem very consistent. I think I could do without the glitter. Like, if I want a glitter, oh, see, I've got it literally everywhere. If I want a glitter, I could reach into like a Super Shock or a pot for it. Do I need it in palettes? I think they've gotten away from all of them having glitters, but I still feel like we have probably more glitter than we need. This is a ColourPop blush. They had a collection here a couple months ago that came out. I don't know. It's called Interstellar is this one. Probably should use an actual blush brush instead of a contour brush. Okay, super pigmented. I'm gonna have to blend this into the contour. And then I want to take my damp blender and tap into that top, buff out that top edge. That was a lot more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. And while I am fond of overusing blush, I wasn't really expecting that. Okay, I'm going to start back here this time and then just kind of tap it forward. I have been changing up my technique. Have you guys been? I mean, instead of swiping things as much, I'm really trying to tap on and build up. I think especially if your foundation's a little bit more moisturizing, I think it kind of makes more sense. Did I forget a highlighter? I think I forgot a highlighter. When I got the foundation, I picked up this setting powder as well, and I don't know anything about it. This is a loose setting powder, and it's translucent, so we'll see. Got a little sifter. I'm going to tap a little bit of it into the cap and a big fluffy brush here. Here's another Alamar brush. So, I don't know if you guys picked up that birthday suit. I think it's called birthday suit gloss and stuff from Alamar, but I am going to bring you guys not a face full, some new Alamar products that I picked up. Super excited about that. It's not today's video though. And I got some in my hair. I don't set too much with powder just because I feel like my face is dry. Unless I'm getting a lot of texture in here from something shiny. I don't, but I gotta tell you, this translucent setting powder, when you want something that's just subtle and soft, man, that actually went on really well. Okay, who knew? I've never used a ColourPop setting powder before. We do have a ColourPop lip liner. Okay, and this color it's a nude color, but it's almost a little warm nude. Lippy liner in the shade Another Round. And I brought in a few little lip colors here. I'm gonna use Virgo Moon. Such a great texture. Feels very soft. It's a nice nude. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the Luxe Gloss in the shade Come Through, just because, why not? I'm not feeling these as a highlighter. Okay, we're gonna use the Iconic Linden, and we're just gonna dap a little tiny bit on. We're doing a full face of makeup today for no apparent reason, so put a couple drops there, a couple there. Okay, that highlighter is very soft, very pretty. I am loving my makeup today. Final thing, we're gonna set it down with Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Spray. I love the smell of this stuff. I was shocked to hear that some people have never actually even tried it. Okay, I'm gonna check out the situation here. What do we have? Aside from random glitter, my skin actually looks really good. A little bit of creasing around my nose, but I'm not seeing like a ton of texture poking through. It's very, very subtle. I think I'm gonna have to play with this foundation a little bit more and see if there's anything I can find that's wrong with it. I like the color of it. I like the consistency of it. I like the coverage of it. I'm feeling like I'm having a good makeup day. I don't know what to tell you guys other than this is a win for me. And that's unusual because, man, as I was telling you earlier, foundations are kind of a tough nut. But if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. I hope you guys are doing well. It feels like this whole Corona craziness is not getting any better. ColourPop, big win. I'm digging this new foundation. Sorry, I forgot my eyeliner and highlighter. It's probably in the other room and I just forgot to grab it, so I'm sorry for that. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much. Feel free to ring the bell so you get notified when I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, usually 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. I hope you're doing well. I care about you guys. Don't forget that. Follow me over on Instagram. Feel free to DM me over there if there's nothing you want to post publicly here, but I love getting comments and I do my best to answer all of them. Sometimes I don't get notified when they get posted right away, so if there's a delay, I apologize. I'm not trying to be rude. It's just the system hasn't told me that I have a comment, and I don't sit there and I've got like 115 or so videos now, just since December. Pretty good at getting content up there. I hope it helps. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just someone who enjoys makeup, and I feel like if I can get through some of the challenges of using products and then you guys don't have to spend your money on it, I'm okay doing that. If you guys find products that you're just like absolutely in love with, whatever, please share them with me too, because I want to know what you guys' favorites are. I think Jenny recently asking me about Sydney Grace products, and for some reason in my brain I thought Sydney, Australia, Sydney Grace, or maybe I looked up Sydney Grace products before and it was an AU site. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a California brand and I haven't ever used any of their products, so I may look into that down the road. I'm gonna get out of here. It's a beautiful day. I'm gonna go outside, sit in my front yard, mask free, because I can do that. Maybe we'll run an errand or two, who knows? Or maybe I'll just edit, film. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well, and until my next video, bye for now. Hi guys, I don't know if this is gonna show up very well, but it's now roughly 5:30 and I'm kind of doing my first check-in. It's been about 4 hours since I've had this on. I still have pretty good coverage in most places. I've been scratching around my nose, so of course I've lost some of that. I have retouched up my lip gloss because I chew my lips. But as far as like overall coverage goes, I think it's on pretty good. I don't know if this is gonna show up very well. I can tell you that I was out and about, which meant I had a mask on, so there should be a little bit of wear, but it actually doesn't look too bad. And we were out in the convertible, so it was like 97 degrees out, driving around, sweating, sun, and at a 4-hour mark, I think my skin looks pretty good, other than just where I had my sunglasses on and I was kind of scratching my nose a little bit. But as far as coverage goes, I think it's actually looking pretty good. Okay, I'll check back in before bed. Hey guys, it's about midnight and I caught myself before I almost washed my makeup off. You know, it's been on a long time, what, 11 and a half hours, something like that. It's lasted way longer than I thought it would. Like my eyeshadow is still there. You can still see my contour and my blush and all that. Is there still some coverage? Yeah, there's still some coverage. Like I can still kind of feel it a little bit on my skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel, you know, too weighted, anything like that. I'm not upset by this foundation at all. In fact, you'll probably see me use it again. So anyway, guys, that's my take on the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation. I like it. I'll wear it again. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye for now.